Problems are inevitable. Stress is unavoidable. Obstacles will show up whether you like it or not. That's the first truth. Most people react to problems emotionally. They panic, they complain, they blame, and when they do, opportunity dies. That's the key. Emotional mastery is the difference between collapsing and capitalizing. It's the difference between failure and strategy. You have a choice. When a problem arises, your first instinct may be fear. Your second may be frustration. Your third may be anger. If you act on any of these impulses, the problem becomes larger. You add noise to the situation. You cloud judgment. You waste energy. Discipline does the opposite. Discipline observes. Discipline analyzes. Discipline responds. That's the key. Emotional mastery does not remove feeling. It changes the function of feeling. Fear becomes information. Frustration becomes fuel. Anger becomes leverage. Undisciplined people live in the problem. They swirl around it. They amplify it. Disciplined people live above it. They see it clearly. They act deliberately. You have a choice. Every problem is neutral. It is neither good nor bad. It only becomes one or the other depending on your reaction. Most people let emotion decide. Disciplined people decide first, emotion second. That's the key. Let's break this down. Step 1. Identify the problem without judgment. Say this is the situation. Do not add this is terrible or this is unfair. Just acknowledge factually. Step 2. Ask yourself, what is within my control? Most people focus on the uncontrollable. That's wasted energy. Control what you can, ignore the rest. Step 3. Convert the problem into strategy. Ask, how can I use this situation to my advantage? Even small advantages compound over time. You have a choice. Emotional mastery also requires timing. The first reaction is never the best one. The first emotional spike is designed to disrupt focus. Delay, observe, respond. That delay creates leverage. Leverage allows problems to become opportunities. That's the key. Consider how this works in business. A competitor attacks your reputation. The undisciplined react defensively. They post online. They argue. They explain themselves. Results. They amplify the attack. They drain energy. They lose control. They're disciplined. They stay silent. They analyze the impact. They act where it counts. Problem becomes strategy. Discipline multiplies effect. Same principle applies to relationships. Someone offends you. Undisciplined reaction. Anger. Gossip. Retaliation. Disciplined response. Pause. Evaluate. Respond strategically if necessary. The outcome shifts from conflict to leverage. Problems are the ultimate test of emotional control. They expose weakness instantly. The undisciplined lose momentum. The disciplined gain clarity. That's the key. Emotional mastery also protects your energy. Undisciplined reactions drain time, focus, and mental bandwidth. Disciplined responses conserve it. Energy saved compounds into results. Every problem faced with mastery becomes a stepping stone. Every problem reacted to emotionally becomes a trap. You have a choice. Emotional mastery also requires repetition. It is not a one-time act, it is a habit. Every time you encounter difficulty, you rehearse mastery. Every time you pause before acting, you reinforce discipline. Every time you convert frustration into action, you strengthen identity. That's the key. Identity matters. People who react impulsively identify as victims of circumstance. People who act with control identify as architects of outcomes. The identity you reinforce with repeated practice dictates your future. You have a choice. Emotional mastery also builds foresight. When you respond calmly to problems, you begin to see patterns. You begin to anticipate obstacles. You begin to plan before chaos arrives. That foresight is power. Undisciplined people are blind until the crisis hits. Disciplined people see the crisis coming and convert it into strategy. That's the key. Look at history. Look at business. Look at leadership. Every high achiever faced setbacks. Every high achiever faced adversity. The difference. Emotionalmastery.com. Deliberate response turned obstacles into leverage. Panic and reaction turned obstacles into disaster. You have a choice. Every time you encounter a problem, repeat this mantra internally. This is not a threat. This is information. I will respond with discipline. I will act strategically. I am in control. Repetition compounds mastery. You don't need their permission to remain calm under pressure. You don't need approval to analyze logically. You don't need validation to convert obstacles into opportunity. You have a choice. Emotional mastery also sharpens decision-making. Fear clouds judgment. Anger distorts perspective. Frustration narrows vision. Calm thinking widens vision. Clarity increases options. Strategy multiplies outcomes. That's the key. Every problem is also a lesson. Undisciplined people ignore the lesson because emotion distracts them. Disciplined people extract the lesson because emotion is managed. Lesson becomes strategy. Strategy becomes advantage. Advantage becomes momentum. You have a choice. This is the ultimate test of emotional discipline. Problems are inevitable. Control is optional. The undisciplined fall into chaos. The disciplined convert challenges into leverage. You've learned how to control your emotion. You've learned how to persist. You've learned how to discipline desire. You've learned how to preserve energy. You've learned how to delay gratification. Now, the final step, becoming unshakable. Because mastery is not tested in comfort. It is tested under relentless pressure. You've trained your mind to see problems as strategy. Now it's time to integrate every lesson and become the person who cannot be shaken.